Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, well, we need to talk about some Pokemon V. Except what we're really talking about is hints and rumours. You see, what's going on is, what happened was, over in Japan, they are having a series of 9 V decks, which are being released in the not-too-distant future. I will be able to show you all of those Pokemon V rather soon. And what they've been doing is they've been having a series of live streams. And in those live streams, they have been hinting at certain Pokemon which are going to be coming along. Now, technically, this is the image that we see on the Japanese website. And if you're thinking, well, hang on a second, well, see, that doesn't tell us there's one V deck of each type. You are absolutely right. But remember, I previously showed you this image, which was shown on a poster in a Japanese shop. And would you believe it? That does show us that we are getting one of each type. No, there ain't no fairy Pokemon V, because remember that fairy Pokemon are going away. And there's no dragon. I'm going to let you make your own decision there. That is a video we've made before. But we're getting one grass, one fire, one water, one lightning, one psychic, one fighting, one darkness, one metal, and one colourless Pokemon V. Now I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, don't know what the lightning one is. No idea what the lightning one is. Myself and the lovely Primal Lugia, the lovely Antoine Boulet, the lovely Joe from Cerebi.net, we've been checking out these Japanese streams, etc. And if there has been a hint for the lightning one, I have missed it. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. And there are two that we have just been flat out shown. For some reason, they got kind of bored of hinting. So they just showed us Lucario and they showed us Galarian Slowbro. Now, I have done videos about both of these Pokemon. So I will let you check those out. I'll pop a link in the description. Neither of them are particularly stunning, if I'm honest with you. None of them have come out as particularly phenomenal Pokemon. Lucario seems to do 190 and can't attack next turn. Not 100% sure on that. First attack does 40 to the active and 20 to your opponent's bench, which does come with some pretty heavy Buzzwole vibes. And Buzzwole was pretty good. Whereas the Galarian Slowbro is coming along with an ability that automatically poisons in the active, and an attack which we're not 100% sure of, but I feel confident in saying it does 130 and stops the defending Pokemon retreating. That is not confirmed, but I feel pretty good. So there's 2 we know and 1 we don't. What about the other 6? Well, we've been given a series of hints. So let me show you the hint and why I'm convinced we've got the lineup. Now, of course, we got to start here with Wailord. I love Wailord. I adore Wailord. Wailord is my boy. When Wailord turned up in the trailer for the Isle of Armor DLC that aired last week, I got very excited. I assure you, if it's at all possible, i.e. if I can find it early enough, I will be going through that DLC with a Wailord on my turn. You have my word, ladies and gentlemen. You have my word. It's clearly a close-up of a Wailord's face. Blatantly. So we know we're getting a Wailord V. And here's my question. Here's the one thing I want to know above all else. What's his HP? Now, it's got to be at least 260. It's got to have 260 HP, because if it doesn't have 260 HP, it's literally got less than Wailord EX, or the same, I suppose, if it's 250, and that ain't going to work. It's got to have 260. Got to have 260. The current record we see for Pokemon V, there are a couple like Zamazenta that have 230. This has got to be at least 260. Here's my question. The current record for a basic Pokemon is 300 on either Magikarp and Wailord or the legendary birds. Is this going to beat or match that? Is it going to go up to 310, 320, so it is the biggest basic we've ever seen? Or is it going to fit between Wailord EX and these tag teams? The answer is we have no way of knowing at the moment. But the good news is we are expecting these to be revealed rather shortly, and at that point we will have a definitive answer one way or the other. But that is the one that really excites me. We're getting a Wailord V, and that is awesome. Now, in no particular order, what do we think this is? It's Pteranodon V. Now, of course, the one thing we need to bear in mind here is that we know we're getting one of each type. So that also gives us information. We know there isn't a dragon one, so Pteranodon has got to come through as a metal Pokemon V. I'll be honest with you here, we've seen a couple Pteranodon already. They have only come around as metal. So I feel fairly confident it would have been metal, even if we hadn't essentially had it confirmed. But that is a dude dressed up as Pteranodon, weirdly. And that tells us that we are getting a Pteranodon V. We have very little to go on so far. We can expect the HP to be fairly high, because both the Pteranodon we've seen have had 130 HP. Yeah. There really is very little we can draw into this. I'm sorry about that. We know that we are getting, as our colourless Pokemon, EVV. Nice. Kind of had to be EV, didn't it? Now, here's my thing. Can we get excited about this? Because we got EVGX, and EVGX was... They've been leaning hard into EV lately. Remember we had Snorlax and EV tag team? Still do, in fact. And we got EVGX. Now, of course, the big issue we always have with Eevee is that Eevee is a Pokemon, it is made to be evolved. It's got many different evolutions. So we end up, the GX had an ability that let it evolve into any Pokemon that evolves from Eevee. And then had a GX attack that put 3 cards from your discard pile into your hand and 3 colorless energy, 100 damage. It was fine, but it never really saw much play. It was a little bit rubbish. Because it's really awkward making a Pokemon V or GX or something along those lines out of Eevee. Remember, if you take an Umbreon card, Umbreon does not evolve from EVV. Umbreon evolves from Eevee, so expect Eevee to have some kind of mechanism by which it can evolve into any Pokemon that Eevee can evolve into. Now, another one that makes me super happy is Incineroar V. We're getting Incineroar V. Maybe this shouldn't be too surprising to you, of course, because we got 2 Incineroar GX. We got the Fire one, and we got the Darkness one. Now, both of them, I got very excited when they got revealed and tried to make them work. Both of them turned out to not be particularly good, unfortunately. The Fire one, for 1 energy, did 10 damage, plus 20 more for each of your bench Fire Pokemon. And the Darkness one had an ability to let you attach 3 Darkness energy from your deck to it while taking 3 damage counters. And then 3 energy, 130, discard a special energy, or 3 energy as a GX attack, 10 plus 30 for each damage counter on it. It wasn't a particularly phenomenal card, but I had such high hopes. The sad news is, of course, that we don't have very much at all that we can read into this, because both of those cards were pretty gosh darn different. They did both have 250 HP, which was the maximum we saw for stage 2s, so expect a high amount of HP, I suppose. As a side note, yes, it is going to be the Fire, not the Darkness. We know we're getting one of each type. We know that Galarian Slowbro V is Darkness, ergo Incineroar has to be Fire. Now, Mew V is another one that we know we're getting, and remember that when we got the reveal of Darkness Ablaze, we were literally told, you're getting Mew V and Galarian Slowbro V. And I said at the time, well, they have to be from these V decks in Japan, there's nowhere else they could come from. And then, of course, we've been shown Galarian Slowbro V, which is, in fact, from the V deck. So I know that there are other Pokemon you could argue that is other than Mew. But no, you can't, because we know we're getting a Mew V. It's got to be Mew. I've seen a few people touting it as Espeon, which would work with the Psychic typing. But also, there's no way one evolution makes it into this with Eevee and the rest of them don't. That would be thematically strange. And also, we have literally been told a Mew V is coming. Now, Mew is a really interesting one for me, because if we look at the kind of chase cards that Mew has, we can look at something like the old Mew EX, that lets you copy the attacks of any Pokemon in play, for instance, which is, ridiculous. Or the new Mew EX, that lets you use the attacks of any Pokemon in play. Or Mew Prime, that lets you use the attacks of any Pokemon in the Lost Zone. I'm not saying Mew is definitely gonna have an ability that lets it copy the attacks of any Pokemon in play / discard / wherever, but I am saying that if you follow the through line of Chase Mew cards, yeah, that is the kind of thing that Mew likes to do a lot. Of course, there was another Mew EX that didn't do that, and then we could look at the Mew from Fates Collide, which did have the ability to let you use the attacks of any of your basic Pokemon in play. It was only yours and it was only basic, but it was a non-chase card. It was just a regular Pokemon, which is why they power the ability down a bit. But I think it's fair to say that's probably what Mew's going to do. And then the last one that we've been essentially shown here is Venusaur. We know we're getting a Venusaur V, because it's clearly Venusaur. Like, that is definitely a picture of Venusaur. So, that's kind of cool. Of course, we've already seen a Charizard V. That came around in the Charizard V Max deck. So, we've already had that. Japan has had that. And we have essentially had it confirmed that that is coming in Darkness Ablaze. So, that's kind of cool. What about Blastoise V? Yeah, sorry. I mean, they generally do, not with legendary trios, but with starters, they often do later on make it better. So hopefully, in time, later on, they will show us a Blastoise V. As it stands at the moment, we've had Charizard, we're getting Venusaur. Blastoise will presumably be along later. And those are 8 of the 9 Pokemon Vs that are coming. I would love to sit here and give you some long-winded explanation as to which lightning type is coming and why, but the honest answer is we have literally no idea whatsoever. I would go, wow, you know, they're going Eevee, maybe they go Pikachu, but no. Remember, we have already had it confirmed that the next Japanese set, Astonishing Volt Tackle, is going to be featuring Gigantamax Pikachu, which means Pikachu V and Pikachu V Max, which means we are definitely not getting Pikachu. In fact, about the only one I feel confident telling you it's not here is Pikachu, as well as any other lightning types we've already got, blah, blah, blah. Outside of that, I really wouldn't want to guess. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You know at this stage, as soon as we get any kind of information, I'll share it with you. I'm nice like that. But for now, I want to know what you think about these. I'd like to know if I'm wrong about any of them. And I'd like to know your predictions. So go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, or you can do exactly that. And by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.